Mark Devine is a retired Navy SEAL commander and founder of SEALFIT Training Center in San Diego, where he trains SEAL candidates as well as professional athletes, military professionals, and others looking to build strength, character, and unbreakable mental toughness. Mark, I have three of your books on my bookshelf. Nice to see you
Nice.
again.
You as well. Thanks for having me on here.
I know you've written other books, but I'm curious. Most people attribute a lot of heroic traits to Navy SEALs. I don't think creative writing is at the top of anyone's list. How did you go from Navy SEAL to prolific author?
It's a great question. It has everything to do with also how and why I started SEALFIT to train Navy SEALs. And it has its roots before I joined the SEAL, before I became a Navy SEAL, Carmine. I started Zen meditation when I was 21 under the watchful eye of a Grand Master martial artist who had founded this entire, form of karate. And we also learned, things that were really uncommon back in the day, breath control techniques. I had a coach at Colgate University who taught me performance psychology and sports visualization or visualization for sports. And so now at 21, I find myself in New York working as an MBA and CPA, and I'm meditating every day, under the watchful eye of this Mr. Nakamura. And without belaboring the story, it had a radically transformative effect on my life. It transformed my mind. It literally led to the deconstruction of the entire story that I was living and to the creation of a new story. And that new story was the one of becoming a warrior and to express that as a Navy SEAL ultimately. So when I went into the SEALs, I had that foundation. And that foundation is also what led me to be really successful as a SEAL leader and then to want to teach those techniques to SEAL candidates. Well, one of the surprising outcomes of a deep practice, long-term practice of, the inner arts, let's call them, is you tap into much greater creativity. So there you go. Suddenly I went, as I'm teaching these Navy SEALs, I developed these several different really innovative and powerful training programs, SEALFIT being one of them, the entire physical and mental training around that. We had a 90% success rate getting guys through SEAL training, which is contrasted with the upside down 90% fail rate for the average person. I developed an entire yoga program, integrated movement, which integrated breath, movement, visualization, meditation. That's called Kokoro Yoga. And so I have a book by that name as well. And then I developed the Unbeatable Mind Vertical Development Program. And there's a book named Unbeatable Mind, which I don't see on your bookshelf, but maybe that's next for you. So anyways, that's a long-winded story, but it wasn't the Navy SEALs that turned me into a creative author. It was actually training my mind through these internal arts, which is what I really wanted to teach people about in my new book, Uncommon, so that everybody could really tap into this vast potential and creativity that's locked inside of them.
It's funny that you mentioned Unbeatable Mind. I actually do have that, but that's at home. It's not in my
Okay.
office bookshelf. See,
Good job. You get a pass
I'm
then.
on top of it. Mark, you've led elite teams, elite warriors, really, for 20 years as a Navy SEAL officer. So you have a lot to teach us when it comes to communication skills and amplifying a leader's message across an organization. Let's begin with the selection process, because I don't think most people fully appreciate how hard it is to become a Navy SEAL. Tell me if I'm wrong, but the selection process lasts a full 9 months or so. Often
Right.
we hear of Hell Week, which is what many people have heard about. That's only a small portion of selection. And yes, that is where most people quit or they're eliminated because of the grueling sleep-deprived conditions under which they're required to perform. But SEAL candidates are pushed to their physical and mental limits for 9 months to a year. How
hmm
many people started in your training class, and how many were left who earned the right to wear the trident?
Yeah, just by the numbers, and these are pretty common across all BUDS classes. And BUDS, by the way, stands for Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL Training. And you're right, it's 9 months long. 185 students started with me on that day, class 170, and 19 of us graduated. So, it's a little bit greater than 10% finish rate.
What I find fascinating is the fact that physical fitness is only a small part of the qualities that SEAL teams look for. Mental
That's right.
fortitude, of course, plays a role, as does communication skills. Are communication skills essential for leading teams of elite warriors, not only as a commander like you used to be, but also in the selection process?
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. Physical training, that's like a prerequisite. Everybody who shows up is theoretically physically qualified. Now they'll have certain, issues that pop up that maybe point to the fact they could have prepared a little bit better. So then it really boils down to your mental and emotional fortitude and your capacity to be a great team member. And this is where communication comes in. The SEAL instructors are masterful at what they do, but ultimately what they're doing is selecting their next teammates. And so they want to work with teammates who are actually good communicators, who are exceptional at supporting others, and aren't full of their own self, right? So the big egos are the first ones to really leave the program, whether voluntarily or kind of being forced out because the instructors make it just especially hard on them.